Whoa. Definitely didn't expect Rooster Teeth to be back on the menu. I'm sure many of you remember when it shut down not that long ago. Rooster Teeth used to be a juggernaut on the internet with Red vs. Blue, Achievement Hunter, Let's Plays. They were at the forefront of content online. But over the course of many years of being at the top, people started to lose interest, and it felt like Rooster Teeth kind of spread themselves thin. They had like 60 different podcasts and 30 different channels, like really random channels sometimes too, like, Chef Guilford's Kitchen Crazies. I'm whipping up wacky recipes this week, and somehow it's affiliated with Rooster Teeth with like 400 subscribers. So Rooster Teeth, over time, just started to have people stop watching, and it was like this nosebleed that just never stopped. So they started bleeding out, they were losing tons of money, and most people could see the writing on the walls that Rooster Teeth wasn't going to be around much longer, and then in March of last year, it formally shut down. That is, until today, when out of nowhere, like a boner in the night, Burnie Burns, one of the co-founders of Rooster Teeth, acquired it again. Now, for those that don't remember, he actually sold Rooster Teeth back in 2014 for a bag. Burnie, he made off like Scrooge McDuck with Rooster Teeth, sold it at its peak, and now in 2025 must have acquired this for pennies on the dollar, because right now the name carries about as much weight as Blockbuster. It doesn't really have anything. It still has the YouTube channel, the main YouTube channel with millions of subs, but those aren't active subscribers, and the channel has been in the gutter for years where people weren't really watching what got posted there. So it's not the most appealing channel to spend a ton of money on, and all of the property Rooster Teeth used to own, it doesn't have anymore. So he's not buying those things. The obvious one Rooster Teeth I'm confident still has the rights to fully is Red vs. Blue. But Red vs. Blue had an ending. So, I mean, of course, that doesn't mean shit anymore. Like, you can always just dust it off if you want. You could even pull a fucking Marvel and have the multiverse of Red vs. Blue if you wanted, but that never really goes over super well. So I don't know if that was, like, the main motivation here, because he wants Red vs. Blue back, because I don't exactly know what you do with the property now that it's ended. And all of the other active property Rooster Teeth used to have, well, they got sold. So they're owned by things that aren't Rooster Teeth. And some of the talent Rooster Teeth used to have acquired their own shows independently of Rooster Teeth. So now they're all doing their own things, not with Rooster Teeth. So I don't even know what he's buying other than the name, which I think is cool. I'm very excited to see what he does, but it's a really interesting purchase, and it's got me feeling like my boy George. I'm beyond curious what Burnie's going to do with Rooster Teeth now back in his paws. Maybe this is something he did just because he's got tons of money and the brand obviously means a lot to him, so maybe he just wanted to have it back and he doesn't have any like grand vision for it. Or maybe he's out there scheming with ways to bring Rooster Teeth back into the fold. Either way, I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's very cool that Rooster Teeth in some capacity is alive again. Yes, it kind of went out with a bit of a whimper, but you cannot downplay just how impactful Rooster Teeth was on the internet as a whole in its early formative years with video content. Now, Rooster Teeth put out this press release saying, Rooster Teeth to find new home with brand's original creator Burnie Burns at Box Canyon Productions. 9 months ago, Rooster Teeth announced that it would shut its doors after 21 years of creating content. Today, the Rooster Teeth brand and much of its remaining assets have been acquired by founder Burnie Burns and his independent company, Box Canyon Productions. So that statement that he now acquired the remaining Rooster Teeth assets, I don't know what the fuck that's referring to, because, again, most of the active assets in its death throes were sold. So, Ruby, for example, their flagship animation, that's owned by Viz Media. There's no way Burnie has now got Ruby back. It's not like that would be bundled in with this Rooster Teeth purchase. That's entirely in Viz's toy box now. And it's not like he got a lot of the shows back, because those shows, they were personality-driven shows, and the personalities behind it have now all gone independent and do their own productions. And all of them have voiced how much they prefer working in these like small teams together without like the puppet masters overhead, pulling at the strings. So I don't think he gets those shows back and the talent comes with it or anything. So I don't know what assets he got with Rooster Teeth other than Red vs. Blue. That's the only one popping into my noodle right now, but I'm sure I'm overlooking a couple. My guess would be, this is just a hunch, a tickle in the old sack, that tells me that Burnie's plan with Rooster Teeth is to literally build it from scratch again. That's what I think. Because the end of Rooster Teeth was pretty catastrophic. And I have to imagine Burnie noticed that. Like, I have to imagine Burnie knows why Rooster Teeth was failing, from all the bloat, spreading thin, crunch, and like for every one successful show Rooster Teeth had, they had 10 super stinkers go right down the shitter. So I personally feel like Burnie is looking to try and bring back the magic of Rooster Teeth, what it was when he still owned it, where it was creative and focusing on like actually good productions as opposed to just focusing on expanding as many productions as they could possibly get their grubby little paws in. Again, I'm just spitballing. I'm just taking a guess. We don't exactly know what Burnie's, master plan is with Rooster Teeth, the 5D chess moves he's going to make with it, but I really don't think his primary motivator for purchasing Rooster Teeth again was to try and grab some of the remaining assets, whatever those may be, whatever that is in the fucking post-apocalyptic Fallout universe that is the Rooster Teeth empire in shambles. So I'm thinking he just wants to go from square one again, build it, and then not make the same mistakes that it fell victim to when he sold it. Again, just a guess, and usually my predictions are wrong, so definitely take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, back to the press release. To finish it off, they just give a general overview here of the timeline. Burnie Burns, founder of the online media outlet Rooster Teeth, has officially acquired the beloved entertainment brand. This milestone marks a new chapter for Rooster Teeth as it returns to the hands of its original creator as part of his company Box Canyon Productions. Under Burns' leadership, the historic brand plans to renew its focus on innovation, community engagement, and the spirit of creativity that first defined its success. Burns started Rooster Teeth in 2003 with the breakout success of Red vs. Blue, the longest-running web series in history. Over the years, Rooster Teeth expanded into a multimedia powerhouse, producing hit shows like Ruby and the International RTX Convention Series, while fostering a passionate global fan base. With this acquisition, Burns aims to reignite the collaborative and community-driven energy that made Rooster Teeth a trailblazer in digital entertainment. "I am excited at the challenge of bringing Rooster Teeth back to its roots," said Burns. "The heart of this brand has always been its fans, and I look forward to writing a new chapter together." As an early pioneer of online video content, Rooster Teeth set the standard for how fan-first entertainment could thrive in the digital age. With Burns back at the helm, fans can anticipate a renewed dedication to Rooster Teeth's original mission to entertain, inspire, and connect. Along with the acquisition, Box Canyon announced a new development slate of productions for 2025, including renewed production of some of the platform's classic shows, a new original audio adventure again, and an untitled reimagining of Burns' first film, The Schedule. It definitely does sound like there's big plans in the works here for Rooster Teeth. Again, I don't know what classic shows he now has under his belt to work with, but excited to see what the roadmap looks like for Rooster Teeth going forward. They did also post a little hype video letting us all know that it's under new management.
Guys, why the lights off? I'm back from getting milk. What the hell happened?
The more I sit here and think about it, I think there's also a very real chance with Burnie at the head of Rooster Teeth again, that he's able to get a lot of the talent that went to do their own things back, at least to a certain extent, to Rooster Teeth. So maybe he'd be able to get like the original gang back together for, the next go around at the rodeo. I think that's also something that's probably not off the table, because I imagine Rooster Teeth is a very sentimental brand to a lot of people. And I think, someone like Jeff might be open to the idea with Rooster Teeth under Burnie to come back and at least do content with it and engage with it in some capacity. And I'm sure there's others that would as well. So maybe that's also something that's part of the strategy going forward. Either way, very unexpected to see Rooster Teeth rise from the ashes like a phoenix, not even a full year after it closed. And yeah, I guess we'll see what happens with Rooster Teeth going forward. That's about it. See ya.